Hi, I'm your Gemini friend. So this video is going to be about the part of fortune. So I'll be going over what it is, how it's calculated, what it means, how we can use it, and just a little bit of the background. I do also offer personal natal chart readings and synastry readings if you're interested in that. But okay, so for the part of fortune, I do want to mention the last video that I put out, my video on sect or day and night charts. While I understood that that's used for this calculation for all of the Arabic parts or the lots, I don't think I gave it proper credit, because since I've been getting more into Hellenistic astrology and looking back more on ancient techniques, sect is incredibly fundamental in that, and it's something that's much more useful when used in conjunction with other things like this. My focus is usually on modern astrology, but obviously knowing where something comes from is incredibly useful, and I just keep digging deeper and deeper, so we're all learning together. So, part of fortune, this isn't a planet, it's not an asteroid or anything, this is a specific calculated point. And what this point represents, it's about harmony, harmonizing our body, mind, and spirit. This is actually taking the ascendant, the sun, and the moon. And depending on whether you have a day or a night chart, the calculation will be a little bit different. And of course, there are calculators. I doubt you're actually going to be calculating this yourself, but just in case you're curious, if you have a day chart, the calculation is ascendant plus moon minus sun. If you have a night chart, it's ascendant plus sun minus moon. But all of that aside, the part of fortune it's really about our potential for happiness and success within our natural flow. It's very much about harmonizing our natural energy and finding a way to make that work the best. Because success is different for everybody. What's going to work for you is going to be different because you're unique. And looking at your placement for your part of fortune, this shows you what success looks like in you, the embodiment of this. Not just in a material way, not just like productivity focus. This is taking our inner emotional world, our external world, and also our soul and our feelings of fulfillment, and shows us what harmony between all of them looks like. So a little bit more about the lots or the Arabic parts. Lot of fortune, pars fortuna, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that right, but on astro.com, I'll just put the text here, what it says for this, but they're all the same thing. And there are other parts. If you're interested, I can make videos on these other parts. There is the part of Eros, which is about our destiny, our fate in love, passion, desire. There's the part of spirit, which has more to do with our will and our mind, and really our conscious intention. And a lot of this is quite fate-centric, which we don't have to get into that, but these are all mathematical points. The part of fortune is so significant though, because this is like what brings us happiness, what brings us fulfillment. How do we take all the parts that make us who we are and make them work? You can think of this as being a representation of where we're in alignment with our own design, and also where the world will meet us with open doors, align opportunities. When we're in this energy, we are more attuned to these opportunities. It's not about chasing, it's not about going after things so intentionally. It's more about things clicking into place. This is supposed to be something that feels right, so it's not something that we're really intended to force. And this does not necessarily have to do with career at all. It doesn't even have to do with money. It's very unique to the individual what really will bring fulfillment. So to be more clear, if you look at your placement, the sign, this is going to show the qualities that you want to be embodying, putting forth. These parts of you are linked to what brings fulfillment. For example, my part of fortune is in Virgo in the 6th house, which seems very practical, but it's really about service, humility, feeling like I'm being useful, helping, organizing things, all of that. The house that you have it in, this is going to be the area of life where fulfillment tends to appear for us. And using me as example again, in the 6th house, it's very much about daily integration, tangible action, and taking care of myself. The thing with this is that your part of fortune is not necessarily something that comes easily to you. When I say this is not something you're intended to force, that's because this is meant to flow naturally, but all the different things that happen within us, we have oppositions and squares and things that are feeling like they're warring inside of us. Your sun, moon, and rising could be incredibly different. They could feel like they don't go together at all, which as a Gemini sun, Capricorn moon, I get that. So the interesting thing with the part of fortune is that it can represent the ideal relationship with whatever it is. Your placement's going to tell you what it is that you really need to focus on. Again, using me for example, health is a huge thing. Taking care of myself is a huge thing. This is something that I notice more than anything. If I'm not taking care of myself and maintaining things in a healthy way, everything falls apart. And I don't say this as like a threat. It's not like if you don't do this, everything's gonna fall apart. It's just that having this awareness really makes it clear, and I can see that when I have this under control, when I'm working on it, when I'm focusing on it and putting energy here, things click into place. Things just like naturally work out better. And that's an incredibly useful tool to be able to see what it is that's really important for success, for fulfillment, for happiness. And I know I already said this, but that's so different for every single person. It could have absolutely nothing to do with traditional success. You could have a placement that really prioritizes solitude or socializing. But this is something that we can really use as sort of a compass to redirect our energy, especially when we feel like we're burnt out or we don't know what we're doing, we don't know where to go. If you look at your part of fortune and you are like nothing like that, or you recognize that this is an issue area in your life, or something that doesn't come easily to you, it's not about forcing it. It's about taking your traits, taking the parts of you and finding a way to make them work together. Any sign can work together with another sign, even when they're in conjunct. Even when they're opposite. In fact, opposites are the best because they balance each other, even if they're so different. They're still two sides of the same axis. So the part of fortune, it's like hard to describe, but it's more like a feeling of resonance, a feeling of being in alignment with who you are because you've got things working together. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect in order to gain fortune. We are always all over the place. We are vacillating, we're mutable, we are moving. We're not going to stay perfect and happy all the time, even when we achieve that happiness. But that's why this is something that we can always kind of use as a North Star. If everything feels like it's a mess, if it feels like you don't know what's going on, look at your part of fortune. Look at the sign and house, interpret it, and see what that means to you in your life. And I want to be clear, this is not, it's not like a lottery ticket. This is not like your ticket to win. It's not a guaranteed marker of success. It's not about gain necessarily. It's not even about achievement. It is about falling into place, who you're meant to be, how you're meant to be, how you can feel most whole. And one thing that you can do, you can look at transits, you can track when planets are aspecting your part of fortune, because this can show opportunities. This can show you how to work with those opportunities or what sort of energy that is coming through in. And this can be used in synastry as well. If someone else's planets are coming into contact with your part of fortune, they could be a part of your success, or somebody who aids in your fulfillment, or even somebody who is at odds with it. But this can be, okay, you can think of it as sort of like a gentler North Node. The North Node is loaded with karmic energy. We have our South Node, it's heavy, and the North Node it's a hard thing to move towards because it's not meant to be easy, it's meant to be fulfilling. But the part of fortune, this can be like kind of your road there, who you should be to get there. Not specifically, it's not specifically related to the North Node, but everything within our chart is self-contained. It's all working together. So I'm sure it'll naturally align, whether it's like specifically or more this other thing off to the side that helps. But if you're struggling with your North Node, focusing on your part of fortune and where that comes up for you can help, kind of like a stepping stone. And it's not necessarily loud. This is a subtle feeling, but it is a big yes. It is like this works for me, this is me, this is working. And how it's different from the North Node, it's not something that takes a massive amount of effort. It's more like we get in our own way. This can even show us what we need to stop doing in order to become more who we're meant to be. And you might be able to see specifically in your chart which parts of you feel like they are at odds with this, like they make it harder. But every placement has a more positive, helpful expression. And allowing yourself to be a complex and unique individual with very different parts of you that are working together, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it feels like you are split between different sides of yourself. While this deals specifically with the sun, moon, and rising, everything obviously plays into who we are. And sometimes ease isn't even the right word. Some people thrive when they are given a challenge, or even something that we can maintain that adds to our life. Because despite how it might feel like it should be, life is always going to have challenges, and those challenges are important. So finding ways to take the challenges and make the best of them, I mean, that's always good advice. But it's hard to get any more specific without a specific placement, since it's gonna be so different, your combination. But what the part of fortune asks is, what brings you happiness? And sometimes it can be something as mundane as taking care of yourself and others. You can even think of it as like advice embedded in your chart. But that's really all I have to say about this. I'm probably gonna do other videos on some other parts, at least the part of spirit, because that one seems incredibly helpful. But there's the part of necessity, that's an interesting one. That's about trials that we face. And of course, love and marriage with Eros. And while I believe in free will, I also do believe in fate in my own way. Really, the way that I see our charts is that we've kind of set up missions for ourselves, and then we're thrown in here and we're tested, like, okay, can you figure this out? Can you do it? Or are you going to succumb to all of the things that we can succumb to? And there's no shame in that. It's only human. We're all doing our best at any given point, but this is like a blueprint. It's not the biggest, loudest part of our chart, but it is incredibly useful. So that's all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. Please let me know what's your placement. Have you noticed anything with this? Anything that you'd like to share? And thank you so much for watching. I really love you. Bye.